Light on news, but not light on entertainment. I'm going to give you exactly what the hell you need. Now, we saw a white guy running in the street. Pause. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. But I definitely want to talk about that part. Then we don't know what color the other guy is. We assume it's supposed to be what color. We don't know. They might do something completely different, but we know that he's denser. Pause. It's hilarious what I got to do to craft content when it's a light content day. But trust me, bear with me. This all makes sense later on. And 4 items to rule them all. But if you're not about that X, you don't have those chances like that. I don't know. Y'all got to give me an Emmy for this one. Or what is it, a Grammy? No, Grammy is for music. Emmy. I don't know, man. You got to give me Content Creator of the Year. Because to do this today, when it was light, I'm doing something special. So come on, man. Bear with me and get down with these topics, bro. Peace and blessings and welcome to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King, on this extra light news day. Now, it's really not light. You go to different websites, you get different information, you get breaking news on certain aspects, and then you have Twitter, wild out crazy stuff that's happening on Twitter. You have the doom and gloom dudes. You have people putting out fake news. The fake news is going around, people talking about Apple buying Sony. Nope, that's not true. That's not happening. They do have dealings with that stupid car stuff that nobody cares about. That stuff is legit, but that was at CES. Anybody that cares to go to CES to see what the Consumer Entertainment Show is doing, then you will see that. And GDC, the Gamer Conference Developer, something like that. Those shows aren't for consumers in the sense that, if you go to the CES, you get a chance to see what's coming out to the public, but that's really more for larger companies to purchase in bulk, to see the stuff that's coming out, and they are knowing exactly what they're going to give to consumers. A lot of tech is out, a couple of years, stuff that they're working on, like foldable TVs and all this other stuff, cell phones and everything. So these shows aren't really for you. Like, follow, and subscribe, hit the notification button. Definitely hit the notification button. That is something that you need to do. But you see, I changed his, he has 2 different portraits, this is the portrait I'm gonna go for. I will show that when I do this video. And then you can see there's, I guess I call them mousers. Well, they're there, right? And again, I totally forgot what they called those, back in the days. I was just like, the little bots. But I'll do the whole thing about that. Now, members. Oh, what up, Bella? This dog has total disrespect for me making content. She pushes the door open, which is closed. She comes down the steps, leaves Coco upstairs. Now, Coco will come stick her head in and talk about, I want to come downstairs. Anyway, total disrespect for me making content. Thank you, Bella. All right, so we have 4 different coins. If anybody saw the Last Stand Media coin, that coin is up for tomorrow, as well as the Call of Duty coin is up for tomorrow as well. Actually, there's 5 different coins. I apologize. The Starfield coin is up for tomorrow. Regular Hold the Line coin, and y'all saw the Diablo coin, which I should have had here, and I'm so stupid. 5 coins to rule them all. Your personal Infinity Gauntlet, if you can see it down here. You can, I don't think so. It's Infinity Gauntlet. Now, life size. I got to do that video over again. The reason why this guy is not spinning is because he's a 1/3 statue. Too heavy to be spinning around. And the way that his sides stick out is going to hit the beam right there and knock it over. I saw so many different things today. And there was so many different ways for me to make content today. The PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm going to pick it up because I know it's going to be their last console. Now, I know a lot of dudes think that there'll be a PlayStation 6. We're going to keep the boot on Kong neck this whole generation. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know how we do it over here. I'm not going to stop banging paws on these port begging ponies. They're going to get this work. What you don't understand is I expect the PlayStation 5 Pro to come out and fulfill a prophecy, right? That they will be an app. They will be an app first financially. Microsoft is making pivots to do this, to make that happen. And a lot of you dudes don't understand what I'm talking about when I call Kong, Sony Kong. That has to do with everybody wants to help Kong. If you ever see any of the King Kong movies, everybody wants to help this big ape. Nobody wants to help Godzilla. I mean, they tried, they resuscitated him, did some other stuff, but that was on some old one dude did that. One dude. Everybody's always terrified of Godzilla. Everybody has bad, Godzilla saving the world and they're always putting some crap out on him. So that's Microsoft. Kong is always getting help from the humans. So, i.e. Sony. Sony's always getting help from different people, be it the media, be it influencers, be it Twitter guys, content creators, whatever. That stuff. So please understand what I'm talking about. And y'all made that video yesterday about woke stuff. I wasn't talking about that. What I was talking about was freedom of content making for developers and the publishers forcing a framework on top of them. I don't care about none of the stuff that y'all was talking about. All I'm talking about, I want the developers to have the freedom to make whatever they're gonna make. That part. That's it. All that other stuff, I don't care about race. I don't care about the gender thing. I don't care about none of that stuff. I care about freedom for developers. Get that part right. Understand what I'm talking about, and that's it. All right? I don't care about, inclusion. None of that stuff that I was trying to switch it and move it around. No. Freedom for developers. All right, the publishers is forcing and dictating different things. I don't care about that. I want developers to have the freedom. I'm on the floor with developers talking about their wonderful games. I see their games. I respect their games. So I want their games to have the freedom to be what they're going to be. Back to this PlayStation 5 Pro. All right, so the PSSR, that's the PlayStation Spectral Solution Resolution, something like that. It's not a derivative of the AMD upscaler tech, right? So in the beginning, I was believing that it was the upscaler tech coming from AMD. And I heard that's very robust. Now, come to find out, Sony has their own solution. Is this back to like their motion engine that was inside the PlayStation 3? Remember, that proprietary engine set the PlayStation back because developers wasn't able to get a grasp of it. Excuse me. And making it all it can be. It took a while for the PlayStation 3 to pick up steam. Is this a revisiting of history? Is this the part where the prophecy comes true? The PlayStation 5 Pro it isn't more of an upgrade, but what people are saying is on a 4 nanometer, right? So this is Moore's law, and this is again rumor and speculation until facts come out. So don't take this stuff with a grain of salt. I'm doing the fact finding and the digging, just like you, putting my own spin on it. And understanding what I'm reading, because listen, I'm a consumer just like you're a consumer. My whole thought process when I'm buying is to get as much research on the product, so I can relay that back to you guys, us consumers, so we can make a informed decision on our purchase. Now, me personally, I need another PlayStation, and I said I was holding out. I wasn't buying the Slim because I knew the Pro was coming. I was going to get the Pro. Looking at it, they're saying that, the coolant or whatever to it, and it will be more substantial than the 10%, theoretically, right? More efficient and stuff like that. I still don't find the reason for it at all, right? I find the reason for myself, being that I'm a hardware junkie and there's problems with myself. That's me. That's not the average consumer. The average consumer, some of these guys never upgraded from the PlayStation 4. Is this the definitive console for them to upgrade from the PlayStation 4 to migrate over? I don't know. I can't answer that question because I left my PlayStation 4 in the dust a long time ago. Actually, my son has my PlayStation 4 Pro. So that stuff was left in the dust as I migrated over, as I always do. So that aspect of it is intriguing to say. I thought that they were using AMD's, a derivative of the AMD upscaler technology, and they're not. Is this the way Kong dies? Is this the way that we actually, usher in the lifestyle of the app? Because they are forming a mobile store. They are working on making the app more robust. Was that the reason why they added movies to the essential stuff? Was that a reason why they cut back a lot of the PlayStation stuff and they're working harder on their streaming aspect to the app? Because they already know and they foreshadowing their doom. Is this PlayStation 5 Pro put out there for them to die? For them to say, see, consoles aren't selling because they didn't. I mean, I had the numbers and I can show you the numbers. They aren't selling like you think they're selling. They're selling well for consoles now, but they're not selling as good as the PlayStation 4. Damn sure not selling as good as the PlayStation 3. And I know you port begging ponies is going to be like, but King, at least they're outselling the Xbox. Xbox is number 2 in Microsoft. $1 trillion company. Please sit down and shut up with your $1 billion behind before I make change. But this next topic is the topic I'm more intrigued about. This is the next topic that I care the most about. And, we're going to get into that topic. Okay, now we back at it again. Boy, oh boy. Okay, so here comes Xbox, and this is the white guy I was telling you that was running down the street, which makes sense now when you think about it, right? Xbox finally showed Brooklyn. The colorway is they're going with a light colorway, like the white color of the Series S. Is that a smart colorway? I guess now that you have a black Series S, right? But that doesn't come with a disk drive. You understand, which is kind of makes no sense, right? Because the white Series X doesn't come with a disk drive, but the black Series X comes with a disk drive, right? Now, the white Series S doesn't come with a disk drive, but the black Series S doesn't come with a disk drive as well. It just has more storage. Okay, so they saw this thing in the wild, and okay, it looks... all those pictures that people were putting up of codename Brooklyn, they were showing cylindrical, cylinder type of shape to it. Wrong. Microsoft isn't changing the form factor at all. And I guess that would stand to make sense, right? In a sense that you're not going to have to cut new plastic. You're not going to have to go do all this stuff because the wraps that they do have fit the console. So you just get the wraps, same wraps. They didn't make your wraps obsolete, i.e. the PlayStation wings. So sense-wise, it makes sense, right? Sense-wise, okay, I can go with that. Upgrades. This is removing the disk drive, adding some more heat sinks. Ta-da! What the F? Ta-da! Like this is... So now I need to know if that new controller is in the box. Are you going to sell a new controller separately? Are you going to have features tied to that new controller, the one with the haptic feedback? Are you going to have features tied to that new controller for games? That if people do have the new controller, that it works out. See, because here's the conundrum. Here's the problem. Here's what I got an issue with that, right? The same thing with the Kinect, the first Kinect. The first Kinect, they gave you an option. People used it or they didn't use it, right? Second Kinect, they wanted to force it in the box because they wanted to give the adoption rate at a higher rate, and then all developers can put that functionality into the machine. And technically that functionality was built into the machine when you was using stuff like Xbox On and you know, Xbox Snap and all this other stuff. When you were using those prompts, we use those prompts now when it comes to Google and all that other stuff, you know, with our AI solutions. Microsoft, remember, is ahead of its time. So now that we are using these functionalities in different mediums and different spaces, is more commonplace. I think that the Kinect would have resonated now. The problem with the Kinect was it was taking away from the actual power of the unit. If they were able to make the unit powerful within itself, then it could have sustained itself. Back to this controller. This controller will divide the market. You will have the have and the have-nots. So then you will have developers that will skew to the larger instead of the smaller. Why should we put haptic there? You will put haptic there if the game calls for it. If it's not used, why put it, right? So it boils down to time, development, implementation. Does the content need it? These type of things, right? I don't think it will be as widespread as if it was in every box. We're at the mid-gen point, if you will. I really didn't see it yet, to be honest with you, us at mid-gen. I honestly think that we're not even close. I haven't even sunken my teeth into this generation, to be honest with you. You know, coming back from PAX, you get a chance to see all the games that are in development and all the stuff that is working, and so many games that are actually going to start attacking the hardware itself. Like, you know, I don't know why Rise Son of Rome is popping in my head. Is because I heard a rumor about some stuff, you know, so that stuff it's really right here, and I can't talk about it, but you know, just heard a rumor about some stuff, and it's just sitting right here. But a lot of games are ready to use the tech, like, you know, Pizza Bandit, for instance. That stuff is what we expect to see going forward with Unreal Engine 5, that robustness, these games taking advantage of this stuff. I personally hope that controller is the default controller going forward, that is debuted in this box to give you a reason to buy this. I don't see a reason to buy it, especially if you're a physical type of person. Pause. If you want physical discs, you like physical medium, I don't see it. It works for me because I can remove one of the Series S's in my house. I can give that to a niece or my grandson or whatever, and I can put a Series X in its place. Plus, it's going to have more storage, and then with my additional SSD, the modular SSD, I'm set up with 3 terabits. Even though I have more on an extended hard drive that I have, a SSD that I have outside. I don't see it. Just the same way a lot of people don't see the reason for the PlayStation 5 Pro, I don't see the reason for this. It gotta come with that controller. That's the missing part of this puzzle. Is that controller in the box? They said it was, But Microsoft also said that their positioning changed on certain things. I believe form factor was another thing that they changed that on. So seeing these pictures, seeing the Series X and, you know, the new one, the redesign, the all digital, makes sense for a person that's in the market for that. But doesn't it make more sense just to buy a regular Series X because now the price will drop down a little bit further? In my opinion, it got to have that controller. The controller has to be the pushing point. Then you can sell a controller separately for individuals that want to get that controller. Is that controller $100? What's the price on the controller? But this is the part in the video where I'm going to tell you to like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification button so you know anytime I go live. And I'm going to take that logo and I'm going to throw it around these pork begging ponies' necks. And I'm going to tell you, try to play the Game Pass.